yo, 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 yo. Hey, hey, hey. We are the Spitter Swallow Beer Review. I'm Jammer.
I'm Shagdog. And I
That's
see you got
right.
a Brooklyn brand something there, Jammer. What is it?
I got a dry hop sour ale from Brooklyn, and it's called Bel Air Sour. It's a 5.88 ABV.
Oh,
I
yes,
have
and that
nothing
gets an
else to
80.
say about it.
Gets an 87 on Beer Advocate, considered a wild ale. And I put the notes if you want to learn anything. It does have Challenger, Perlay, Mosaic, and Amarillo hops. Our house ale yeast and malts are American two-row and pale wheat malt. And it has additions of a lactobacillus, which is the bacteria stuff for the wild ale.
You're talking about lactobacillus?
That's what I said.
No.
I'm doing a Sunny Little Thing by IPA. This is an American pale wheat ale, I believe. If I can find it. Yeah. American pale wheat ale, 5% ABV. Yeah, that's all you need to know, right?
Well, I poured mine pretty hard and got a nice thick head on it. I'm all right with that because usually by the time you finish talking and everything, it's gone down quite a bit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I like releasing the aromas and everything in the beer.
And it says that actually releases some of the stuff. It gives you gas and the burps and all that kind of stuff too.
Yeah. The CO2.
That's the thing I'm talking about.
Yeah.
You know the thing.
Yes, and that's why I mentioned the thing. Because I know the thing.
And I got the Sunny Little Thing.
Yeah. Not related to the thing.
Right. I'm not a big American Pale Wheat Ale fan, but yeah, we'll see how it is. I've done a couple of these Little Things series by Sierra Nevada. Most of them all right.
Well, mine has a nice golden color to it. It's got a few floaties in it. Nice, respectable head still there. Probably about a 2-finger head. It looks nice and pillowy, inviting. You know, it's nice, soft looking. The color, like I said, it's kind of a golden yellow. Even though the on here it would look like a dark orange or whatever, or a burnt orange.
Yeah.
And the smell, I'm picking up some of that, almost like diacetyl or, oh man, kind of sour. Almost sickly sour smell, almost like vomit. Yeah, doesn't smell very appealing.
Ooh, this don't smell good either, Jimmy. This is a little cloudy, pale, golden, maybe a hint of amber orange in there. A little cloudy in the center too, like it's got the cloud thing going.
Oh yeah, I see.
Oh, you saw it? Oh,
Yeah, I looked over at the computer.
A little wheaty, but like almost a citrus, like an orange peel or something.
So it's not your typical wheat that usually has like a banana bread smell or a bubble gum.
I mean, it does have a little bit of a wheaty bread in there, but a little bit of orange or citrusy tangerine or something.
Okay.
More of an orange peel, I think. Yeah, I probably won't like it because usually get that orange peel, and we'll see how it goes. I might like it. You never know.
All right. Well, my head has dissipated quite a bit. I don't know if you can tell, but it's gone down quite a bit. And I'm ready to drink if you are.
I'm ready.
Let's do it then. Cheers, Shagdog.
Crazy little thing called beer.
Yeah.
Cheers.
Let it be all Bel Air Sour to you, Prince.
Yeah.
Hey, it's not bad. Kind of nice, sweet, mildly sour taste. Smells horrible, but tastes pretty darn good. And of course, I don't know if you picked that up. It's partly.
I had a little more hopes for this one. When I bought it, I thought it was maybe an IPA because most of these little thing styles, the little thing series by Sierra Nevada are mostly IPAs. I think there's one sour, a couple IPAs. I didn't know it was American Pale Wheat. I probably would have passed it by.
Well, this Bel Air Sour, it has in the beginning a tart flavor that's sweet and fruity and a little citrusy. Then it slides into being less tart and a little watery and sweet. And then at the end, it goes back to being a little tart and dry, making you want to drink another sip. But overall, the fruitiness, the citrus, very faint citrus flavors is nice and appealing. Yeah. But it feels like it just kind of disappears really quick. The flavor goes like a slight orange there, and then maybe a slight lime, lemon. It fades away quickly. That's what I'm picking up. And it just kind of quickly dissipates, and they're faint to begin with.
How bloated I
am. Yeah. I don't know what other people have talked about it, but that's what I say. How's yours, Shagdog?
Well, I'm not big on like zesty orange peel, orangey tasting beers.
Yeah. But why not? Tell us more.
I just don't know. But it's a lot better than the orangey beer I had a couple weeks ago.
Oh, yeah.
It does have an orange peel zest, but not like a straight up raw orange peel. Like an orange peel, but with a little bit of orange juiciness added into it. A little bit of bready wheat. But not a whole lot. It's a little juicy. It's not super bad. I just don't like orangey, juicy, orange peel type beer. That's just me. Yeah. But I'm going to go ahead and grade it for what it is, an orangey American Pale Wheat Ale. I give it a C+ and a swallow. There you
go. Oh, well, let me grade this here real quick.
I don't know why I'm so bloated lately. Holy shit.
It is a sour ale, and it is kind of refreshing. And I could see sitting on the stoop drinking this. I tell you what I'm going to do. I think I'm going to give this a C+ and a swallow.
Well,
yeah.
Yeah, I never had a Brooklyn sour at all, I don't think.
It's all right. It's just not something that really appeals to me, especially the flavor itself. It's okay. It quickly dissipates and everything, but there's like a fruity citrus type flavor, like orange or lemon and lime. And then it just kind of dissipates. Everything just kind of just goes away real quick. So the flavor is there for the moment, and then it's gone. It's like you're throwing it at a moving, arrow at a moving target. You try to shoot an arrow at a moving target,
Or you find that like really special girl, you feel like there's a connection, and she just disappears.
Mm-hmm. She ran wild and free.
Yeah.
That's why some guys tie them up.
You ever had some girls like that through your youth or high school or whatever? It's like, wow, this girl, I feel a connection with her, and then all of a sudden you feel like there's an interest in you, and then like a week later, she just ignores you and she's with another guy. And
Well, that's because one, they always jump from guy to guy. Because if you ever remember watching, I saw it several times. A girl would be going, putting all over her notebook. I love so and so. I love so and so.
Yeah,
Writing all over their notebook, and then that notebook would get thrown away, and then the next, I love this person.
yeah.
But the
Interesting,
other reason is because the other guy decided to jump on it before you did to make the move.
right?
And
Or
so
so.
what happens is that here you are, you felt there was a connection, everything, but he also felt there was a connection, and he turned around and jumped on it before you did, so he's the winner and you're the loser.
But it really comes out weird when it's somebody you would expect that type of girl to be with. Yeah, like,
Yeah, well, yeah, there was plenty of girls in school that I wouldn't expect to be with certain guys, and then all of a sudden they were with them.
yeah. But what's really funny is most of those type of girls, and I can think of them, I can picture them in my head. I can't remember their names.
Mhm.
Don't remember anything about them except for I remember I liked them, thought there was a connection, and a week or two, whatever, all of a sudden she's with some other guys. Like, oh, there goes that one. But guess what? I guess she wasn't that special if I can't remember her name.
Yeah, that's true. I see the same thing.
That's had it happen a couple times. I mean, that's not like it happened all the time, but it was usually I was
What?
usually I was a keeper, yeah. So
Uh,
now there was one time I dated this one girl. I was a senior in high school. She was a sophomore, but a friend that was in my brother. He did his grade. Dated one of her friends, so he was dating an older woman, about a year older or whatever. But anyhow, he calls me up one day. He goes, I hate to be the one to tell you, but your girlfriend was up at a certain place, running around with a bunch of guys from school because she went to a different school with her shirt off, flopping around, and the titties, whatever, out there running around with topless with these dudes. And I was like, what? So I called her up and questioned about it. And then all of a sudden she's like, I don't want to date anymore. I don't want to see you anymore. So to me, that's like, she didn't deny it. She just, to me, that was like, okay, it must be true. Then why would his girlfriend, who supposedly was there, seeing this, tell him that? And then he's telling me that, yeah.
yeah, it definitely is that.
She just said, I don't want to start crying and said, I don't want to see you anymore. I don't think we should see each other anymore. Yeah. To me, that's like guilty.
Yeah, she was.
Yeah.
Look, the women like to say men are the cheaters, but cheating wouldn't happen if the woman didn't give it.
Right. Yeah.
Because and this is the crazy thing, you'll see it more often than not where girls would be all right with having an affair with a guy if they're married because they know there's no commitment.
Right. And then know most likely he's with his wife and you. He's not going to be going somewhere else either. Yeah.
Yeah. So she could walk away from it at any moment and not have to worry.
Right.
And
a lot of women, I believe, get with married guys thinking they're going to, because they say, yeah, don't worry, I'm going to leave her soon. They believe all that.
That right there is a lie right there for both of them. For the guy, it's a lie, and for the girl, it's a lie because she's saying that the reason why but in reality, they know what the reason is. She was attracted to him. She liked him. He was attracted to her, and he liked her. And so what happened? they made the beast with two backs. They just went ahead and did the beef injection. They got it on and they had fun and all that stuff like that.
No, you don't think there's gullible girls out there who believe
I
because he's
think
telling
that most of that stuff is a farce. I think most of the girls don't believe it,
them?
and the guys, they know it's not true.
Well, the guys definitely, but the girls, because the guys that wants to do it on the secret, yeah, I'm getting a little piece of action because my wife hasn't been giving me any. But a single woman, I think, with kids or whatever, looking for a daddy, I think, and
I
hoping.
think most women in general are not that naive.
I think
They
they
know
are.
what they're getting involved in before they get involved in it. And they don't mind telling themselves the lie, and they don't mind blaming the guy because it doesn't allow them, it alleviates the responsibility, alleviates the fault. If the
Oh,
guy says, I'm going to leave my wife, we're not really in love.
I
She
see
hasn't
your
treated
point,
me
but I'm
right.
saying some women believe he's going to leave her because he's telling her that, and then she goes,
Okay, so what you're asking for is like a percentage breakdown, and I would say probably 98% know the
uh,
truth and don't want to admit it, but they know the truth and they
I
know.
I wouldn't say that much. I'd say about 80%.
Then you're being naive.
I'm saying a lot of them because that's why you see these women that are like, well, okay, well, he's not leaving her. I'm going to go chase her down or
No,
leave.
because what happens is that they like I said before, women fall in love in love with love. They will fall in love with love if they tell themselves enough that this guy loves me, this guy does this, they'll go ahead and go ahead and let it be. There's some women who will actually, I just want to get laid, that kind of thing. But the majority of them would say, I'm in love, I'm in love, I'm in love, even though they know that guy is unattainable, he's hooked already. They'll turn around and do it. Then there's a small percentage of women who get off on the idea of doing that. I stole your man. I did this, you know. And then but all of them know what they're getting into when they get involved with them.
Let's
So
check it.
now if she didn't know beforehand
Let's Google
and
it.
then found out what was happening
Yeah.
and she still went and saw him, then that's on her. That's her fault only.
What
Because
percentage of
yeah, the
women?
guy lied to her or whatever, or the guy didn't tell her or whatever like that, and then she found out, but she went ahead and continued seeing him or went ahead and continued doing stuff with him. Well, guess what? That's on her. You know?
I'm looking for percentage wise, but there's a lot of shit on there. Thinking in percentage, but 9
I gave
signs
you
he will leave his wife for you. Will he leave his wife for you? 3 reasons why a married man will never leave his wife. 10 harsh but true facts about being in love with a married man. 20 signs he won't leave his wife for you. But a lot of them think they will.
well
In
because
love
they
with a
think
married man, 11 signs he will leave. Well, 11
look,
signs he will leave his wife for you.
she see every woman wants to think she has the power to be able to do that. Take that man away. It's a turn on. Think about it. You go out with a girl and you think you can get with another girl while you're going out with the other girl. That's a turn on in the sense that you got the ability to have sex with this girl and this girl and this girl and never, have to leave your wife or significant other. Well, that's a turn on.
It's a risk. Different reasons why it might be a turn on. Risk factor, excitement and thrill, of all that kind of stuff. I mean, I've been with a married woman I think once that I know of. And then I've been with another girl who was cheating on her boyfriend with me. That was kind of
Mhm.
risky and fun, actually.
Yeah, exactly. Like I
But I
told you.
wasn't trying to. I wasn't trying to get either one of them though from their husbands or wives. God forgive me for like committing adultery there and coveting that neighbor's wife and all that kind of stuff.
Well, you just wanted to get laid.
things happen.
That's what I'm saying. You wanted to get laid. Guys can do that a lot. There's a small percentage of women who can do that. They can turn it on and off and say, I just want laid, and go get laid, and then turn it off. I don't want nothing to do with you after the fact. That's a small percentage of women.
Until the
Of course, today, Shagdog, that small percentage is growing because of a lot of the transgenders getting sex changes.
What percentage is changing?
I said that percentage of women who could turn it off and turn it on. I don't want to. I don't want to be with the guy. I just want to have sex with him because he's pleasant looking or whatever. And then they have sex with him, and then they turn it off and say, "Well, get out of the house now." That kind of thing.
Yeah, but what's the transgender got to do with that?
Well, if you're a man, men can do that very well. Turn it off and on. I want to be with that girl because she's hot. Boom. You do it and everything, and then you can turn it off. You can put it in the box. Well, that was just a fling. It didn't mean anything. I love this woman, and I'm with this woman, and that doesn't change the fact that I love this woman. But I wanted to have sex because she was hot, and I did it, and no emotion there.
Right.
So
but your wife's not going to.
But a guy can turn it on and off. So if a guy is getting a sex change, it doesn't change the fact that that's a guy. So he'll be able to turn it off and on as a girl.
Oh, so he'll be doing the same thing.
Yeah, so that percentage will go up for women.
But he's really a man.
But he's really a man, yeah.
And we don't know what he prefers because some transgenders prefer women, some prefer men.
And in reality, you can't change nature. You can try to pump it with hormones, but they ain't going to change the fact that you had an outie.
Right.
You cut it off and make it an innie. It's still an outie made into an innie.
And if someone finds out it used to be an outie and they've been eating an innie that used to be an outie or sticking an innie that used to be an outie, they might kill you.
I think the majority of guys would probably never admit to it.
Yeah, most guys aren't going to admit to it. I mean, if you went out on a date, like Andrew Dice Clay said, you put your hand up her dress and all of a sudden you're feeling a trunk or whatever he says. I mean, what would you do in reality?
Yeah, that's the thing. You've
been making out with him for 20 minutes.
I think the majority of guys would probably say, fuck this shit and leave. But there would be a percentage of guys that would say, you know what, oh, fuck it. Just go ahead and suck it off. Come on, go ahead.
Yeah, I'm halfway there. And there would be a percentage also that would either beat or kill said person.
Yeah.
And when you're drinking, I mean, I don't think you're paying much attention to Adam's apple if she's hot. He's hot.
Well, there's a very wise saying, and I think Mickey Gilley had it, and he quoted, "The girls all get prettier at closing time." That was Mickey Gilley, wasn't it? Or was that Jerry Lee Lewis?
It was a lot of people.
Either way, it was one of those relatives because both of them were related. They were cousins.
Yeah.
And they said the girls all get prettier at closing time. I think it was Mickey Gilley, but it might have been Jerry. And basically what the saying is that as you're drinking more and more, and as the night progresses, it gets more later and later, and so the percentage of women starts getting smaller. Right. And now you're left with whatever, and you're drunk enough to look at the girls and think they look pretty.
Some girl like 3 hours later, you probably I ain't talking to her. If I were kidding me.
Exactly.
Yeah, I've done that a couple times.
Couple?
A couple.
Just a couple?
Shit, I've done it more so. Middle of the night, not even waiting until the end.
Yeah.
I tell you what, remember that one Betty lady, the older lady, And her and her friend, I was like, hey, I want to go ask. They're being asked if they want to have a threesome. I went up and asked them a threesome. Of course, the friend's like, but Betty wanted to get with me, and I got with Betty a couple times.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she's a freak. But she,
Yeah.
again, guess what she was? An alcoholic.
Yeah.
I didn't really get with alcoholic.
Well, she looked at you and thought, you won't go without beer.
Yeah.
And he looks very attractive to me because he has beer.
I remember the first night we hung out, we made out, we went our separate ways. I didn't do anything with her. But then a couple of days later, she went out to our local establishment there. Came home from work. I worked at the customer service place I used to work at. I get home, she called me from a payphone back because that was like 2001. I don't think she had a cell phone. She called me from the payphone there. And she's like, what are you doing? I'm like, well, nothing. About to go to bed or whatever. She's like, well, I want to come over. It's like 2:00 in the morning. I'm like, what? So I'm like, okay. She pulls up in her pickup truck. She had a pickup truck. She pulls in all cockeyed, all drunk and shit. I'm like, of course, this is after, a couple of years after I got out of the Army, so I still live with my parents. Yeah, I get her in the house. I'm like, telling her to be quiet. She's all trash. That's the first time I did her. She's all trash. Then I have to walk her out to the truck. And I'm like, oh my God, she might like get an accident on the way home. And yeah, it was crazy.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, so that was like Karen number one. But her name wasn't Karen, but what happened with her is like a couple times I got with her and then she was like really trash. And I was like, okay, I gotta stop seeing this one. And then I got back because that was like a breakup point with Stacy. So, but then I ended up getting back with Stacy. So
Yet, for some inexplicable reason, you didn't say that with what's her name, Karen.
what about? I didn't say what.
Well, she's drunk and all that stuff all the time, and I can't be with that.
Well, I probably did, but at that point, I was late in the game. Already moved in with her. I don't know. I don't want to talk about that. It was a traumatic time in my life. That was a traumatic time in my life.
Huh? What'd you say?
I said that was a traumatic time in my life.
Tell us more, Shagdog.
You know what? I kept believing her. Just like you see all these movies with a drunken man and they'll keep promising the woman shit. I promise I'm gonna quit drinking. I'm gonna help you with your bills. I'm gonna pay my. Just kept going on and on and on.
Mm-hmm.
So,
and in reality, you should have been more forthright than forceful and say, well, before we can do anything, you need to come over here and
pay the bills.
Yeah, pay the bills. Exactly.
I remember she used to get at me. She's like, "You're not paying for the groceries." I'm like, "Bitch." Back then, of course, groceries are a little bit cheaper than now, but I was like, "I'm paying all the other bills. What do you want me to buy groceries too?" I said, "Yeah, it was just crazy." Yeah, and with her making double what I made too, she expected me to pay for everything. I was like,
it's pouring rain right now.
I never ever again get with somebody that makes more money than you and wants you to pay for everything.
Yeah, if you're really with somebody who wants to be with you and you want to be with them and they really want it to be workable, they're gonna be on the same wavelength when it comes to paying the bills and everything. They're going to be like, oh yeah, all right, so you got this month or you want me to get it, that kind of thing.
Right.
Or you want to pull it together.
Okay, 50-50. Yeah,
You're going to pull it together.
we could have for bills only.
You want to take an account and open it up and just have our money, a little bit of money from each of our checks go into that account. We pay the bills from that.
Yeah, I'm okay 50-50, but
hey, are you thirsty, Shagdog? I'm a little thirsty.
I'm about 51 right now.
I'm a little thirsty.
I wish I was 30.
Do you like those sweaty wet balls?
Hey, I had sunny side up, sunny side down, sunny side all around.
That was one of the best SNL skits of the late 90s, early 2000s or whatever. I forget what year period that was, but the newer group of people coming in, not having much to go on and everything, and that was one of the better skits.
What year was the Sweaty Balls skit Saturday Night Live? That was 1998.
Yeah, see.
I mean, unlike you, I like the 90s Saturday Night Live. I thought it was
I didn't mind the 90s Saturday Night Live. It's just that it wasn't as funny as the late 80s,
Early 80s, I thought you liked.
Early 80s into the late 80s. I mean, the early 90s wasn't as funny. The late 90s was all right. It depends because, you still had Michael Myers on there, and some of the stuff was funny. You had Phil Hartman. I liked Phil Hartman.
Yeah.
You had
started 88 somewhere around there.
I forget the other guy's name. I always forget his name. He was kind of round. He did a great Bill Clinton.
There's a couple of guys.
Yeah, I can't remember his name.
Hartman did Bill Clinton at one time.
If you look up Saturday Night Live, Bill Clinton impersonator.
Bill Clinton on Saturday Night Live.
Daryl Hammond.
Yeah.
1995.
He didn't really do a lot, though. I mean, he did Bill Clinton. He did, what's his name also? Bill Clinton's vice president.
And then you had Will. Yeah, and then you had Will Ferrell and all that stuff. And those were all good. Sherry O'Terry.
Well, shit, even early 90s, it was a little bit weird.
Cheerleaders.
Early 90s, a little bit more not written out well, but I like the people like Chris Farley.
Yeah.
Chris
he
Rock.
was all right at the time when he was doing
Adam
that.
Sandler for what he could do. David Spade. Some of those guys.
They were all right. I'm not denying that.
Better in today's.
All better than the past 20 years of Saturday Night Live.
Yeah. And I was in Panama. That was a really good outlet because Armed Forces Network. I'd be at the hotel with my girlfriend. Even in Panama City, they had the Armed Forces Network. I was like, be a Saturday night at the hotel. Okay, let's watch Saturday Night Live because that was my. There's only 2 armed service networks. 2 different channels. You got only 2 different choices of what to watch from American side of things. Yeah. So I was like, Saturday Night Live. She didn't get it, but I did, and I'd be laughing. She's like, I don't get it. And I'm like, well, I don't get your fucking. There's some show down there in Panama. And there's these young dudes, and they go, CN, 100. And I didn't get that shit, so some comedy thing. But yeah, I like Adam Sandler, those guys. Phil Hartman was still around at that time. Yeah.
So basically the answer to your remark, I did like the 90s Saturday Night Live. I liked a lot of it. I just didn't care for some of it. And some of it was they would do it and it would just end abruptly. And I didn't like that. I like if you're going to do a skit, that the skit is well rounded from the very beginning. It has a start, a middle, and a finish.
I'll tell you what, when they do a skit about a place you work at, when that guy there, we talked about Daryl Hammond did Al Gore when Al Gore ran for president against Bush.
Yeah.
It was supposed to be like Al Gore reading the Florida ballot. And he's like, if you select Pat Buchanan, you end up voting for so-and-so. If you end up voting for me, you end up voting for this person. If you vote for Bush, and if you voted for this person. You end up getting switched to sprint long distance. I was like, yeah, that's probably true.
Yeah. So let's move on.
Phil Hartman did a good Clinton. No, Daryl Hammond. There's somebody else.
We never did touch on the serial killer stuff, so you're going to have to quit teasing everybody, and on the next beer review,
serial killers, yeah,
do the serial killer shit that you were talking about.
All right.
I mean, not do it, but
yeah,
that would be insane.
Yeah, I probably got some serial killer, characteristics, but
you're white, middle age white guy,
single,
yeah, you fit the bill pretty good.
They probably do. Listen, we gotta look the characteristics up on the next video. Yeah.
All right. All right, guys. Thanks for watching, commenting, subscribing, and liking, and tinkling those bells for Shagdog. He loves it. We'll see you on the next one. I am Jammer. He is the one and only Shagdog.
Barely.
All
right, we'll see you on the next one. I forgot where I put that. Okay, there we go. Yeah, so we'll see you on the next one.
Hey.